Unfolding crisis, ground offensive commences in Israel-Hamas conflict. As tensions continue to escalate in the Israel-Hamas conflict, a new chapter was initiated today, October 29, 2023, with the commencement of a ground offensive. This marked an unprecedented escalation in the ongoing clashes between the Israeli military and the Hamas militants, which have been punctuated by sporadic periods of ceasefire and violent outbreaks. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, announced the ground offensive after weeks of heightening tensions. The operation, they said, is aimed at degrading the military capabilities of Hamas, the militant group controlling the Gaza Strip. Hamas, on the other hand, has vowed to resist the Israeli advances, promising a fierce fightback. The ground offensive follows an intense exchange of rocket fire and airstrikes, which have caused significant civilian casualties and infrastructural damage on both sides. The international community has expressed concern over the escalating conflict and its humanitarian implications, urging for an immediate cessation of hostilities. The Israeli government stated that the ground offensive was a necessary step in ensuring the security of its citizens. "We are committed to protecting our people from the constant threat posed by Hamas. This operation is a step towards achieving that goal," an Israeli government spokesperson said. Meanwhile, Hamas has framed the escalation as an act of aggression. "This is a blatant violation of our rights. We will resist and defend our land," a Hamas spokesperson responded. Civilians on both sides are caught in the crossfire of this escalating conflict. In Gaza, families huddle in their homes as the sounds of explosions fill the night. In Israeli cities like Tel Aviv and Ashkelon, sirens wail warning of incoming rocket fire, sending citizens scurrying for shelter. International organizations such as the United Nations have voiced their concern over the escalating violence and the impact on civilians. UN Secretary-General released a statement saying, "The ongoing hostilities have already caused unspeakable suffering to civilians. We call for an immediate ceasefire and for all parties to respect international humanitarian law, which prohibits attacks against civilians and civilian infrastructure." The crisis has also sparked international protests, with demonstrators worldwide calling for an end to the violence. The international community is now looking to global leaders and diplomacy to bring about a peaceful resolution to the conflict. As the ground offensive intensifies, the world watches with bated breath, hoping for a swift end to the violence. As the situation continues to evolve, the quest for peace becomes more urgent. What remains certain is that the human cost of this conflict is too high, and a peaceful resolution is desperately needed. This developing situation requires the world's attention and action. As the conflict escalates, it is pivotal to remember the civilians caught in the crossfire, and the urgent need for a peaceful, diplomatic solution in the interest of all parties involved.